Good morning. Oh, it's 11 o'clock, isn't it? Good morning. Welcome. Let me get over here and hi, everyone. It's Lisa with InkandInspirations.com. Welcome to my Easter Bunny online class using the precious Easter Bunny stamp set. Now, I was really sad when the bunny punch was like went on back order or unorderable. But then I got to looking at this stamp set and I said, these bunnies and these images are not hard to fussy cut. So that's what I'm going to be doing with some of the projects you'll see. But today I'm using them on in other ways where to show you that you don't have to have the punch to use this really cute stamp set. So as you can see, scrolling across the bottom of the screen, I have the information about this online class. It's a class to go. It's free for everyone to watch because I'm doing it today, and the video will remain online so that you can refer back to it. But with a minimum $35 purchase from my online store using the host code that's listed scrolling across the bottom of the screen, I'm going to send you the class packets for these two kits, minus the stamped images. We can't send that. So if you don't have the bunny set and you want to use something else, you can do that. And also my little March Madness gift this month is this a little Lucky Shamrock Charm. And I can show you, I have mine tied onto, here we go, my paper snips or my scissors. So you could put that on a zipper pull, on a bag, or on your scissors, on your keychain, however you'd like to use that. And to me, it's just a little reminder about how lucky and fortunate we are to have such a wonderful craft that we share. Okay, so again, that's just minimum $35 purchase before shipping and handling by March the 13th. That's Monday. And I'll send the class packet for these two kits, for these two projects, and the Lucky Shamrock Charm. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get just on my desktop. And I hope everybody's doing well. We are having lots of rain today, and it's pretty chilly outside. So I came out earlier and turned my heater on out here in the studio so that it could warm up a little bit. And this morning, my youngest granddaughter, Clara, wanted to FaceTime and talk. And so we were on the phone with her for probably almost 2 hours, just chatting and watching her play and interact with her toys. And she'd take me on a tour around her house. It was so cute. Anyway, I just got off of that about a quarter till, so I rushed out here. I had everything set up, and so now I'm ready to get started showing you these projects. So how's everybody doing today? Hi, Susan. Oh, I'm glad you love the stamp set. Hi, Pam. And Pam, I did get your question, and I'm researching that. Okay, so I'll get back with you. All right, again, here's the two projects and the Lucky Charm that you'll get with a minimum $35 purchase. I'll send you the kits, the class packet for this, and the charm, okay, by March 13th. And I'll be posting some reminders, okay? Okay, so this card is a slim tint card, okay? I had seen it by a Canadian demonstrator, Tina Zink, last year sometime, and I made a bunch of them. And they're so cute because it's just a different size. And, anytime we can do something different, it's just fun, okay? And so let's get started on that. I am going to get my supplies up here and we'll get started. I've got everything ready to go. I just have to spread it out. Okay, so here's the class packet for this one. I'm going to take out my pieces. And first I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss cut at 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so that's the base. That's the back of the card. Okay. Then I have a piece of, is this Melon Mambo? I can't even remember. No, it's Polished Pink. Polished Pink, 2 1/4 by 11. And I scored it at 5 1/2. Okay. And so that is going to go over top of this piece. Move my little Post-its out of the way. That's going to go right there, okay? And so we're going to build up this part of the card first before we just do our embellishing and our stamping and all the things for the front. So I have three pieces actually, two of designer paper. Now, if you're wondering, where is this paper from? This is from the host pack called Flowers and More. Hey, Tracy, thanks for tuning in. It's called Flowers and More. It's a host packet. It's a big old 12 by 12 pack of lots of bright colors that you can earn if you place a $150 order or more and earn host rewards. Then you can use that to apply to this. I believe this is $18 in host rewards. But just so you know, sometimes if you go over a little bit, you can pay the difference and Stampin' Up! Will go ahead and let you redeem. Okay, so just a great pack. I've used it with the Taco Fiesta set. It's just fun, and I love the bright colors. So when I saw this floral print, it reminded me of Easter, okay? Even though they're brights, I decided to go brights with these cards instead of pastels. And so I'm just going to put this over top of the actual card front. And again, this is called a slim tint card. It's a kind of a fun fold. Hi, Carol. Oh, it's been snowing, Carol. I bet. Really chilly. We are going to be, and you know, I'm in Southwest Missouri, in the Missouri Ozarks, and we had like a couple of spring-like days, and now Monday and Tuesday, or Sunday and Monday, I forget, is going to be in the 20s. So that's cold for here in March. Okay, that's really cold. All right, so I have this other print that I'm using, and this I'm going to line the inside top of the inside of the card. Okay, so it's just behind the card front, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to put that in. And so when it stands up and you can see the inside, you see this part. Oh, no, Lisa, I did it backwards. You put, okay, this part goes here, all right, on the inside where we would normally put the white, okay? Hi, Susan. Where we normally put the white, we're going to put the designer paper. So then when it's open, you can see this designer paper when it stands up, okay? See, I'm talking too much and I messed up. Okay, so anyway, the designer paper goes here so that when you open, you see the designer paper. Is it raining there, Susan? Yeah. Yep. My daughter is near Fort Worth, and she said they're getting rain, possible small hail this afternoon. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp on this piece before I mount it there. And I'm going to remind myself what I used. Here I have Enjoy the Little Moments. Okay. Enjoy the little moments. Okay, I'm going to stop chatting so much so I don't mess up again. And I'm going to stamp that right here. Okay, and then there is this tiny butterfly that we're going to ink and put here. Okay, and while I have this open, I'm going to go ahead and color the butterfly. I have light polished pink. And when I have small areas like this, I like to use the bullet tip because basically I'm just coloring in and not really doing any shading. Okay. Excuse me. Then I'm going to take the dark Daffodil Delight and do the little spots on the butterfly. Just a contrasting color. Okay. So that's the inside that goes on the top right here. Put a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm glad I used liquid glue the first time because that just pulled right up. Did y'all see that? Whew. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, see if when it's standing up. Oh, thanks, Susan. Hi, Diane. Yes, sunny Florida. Sunny Florida. Good for you. All right, so now I have that. The inside of the card is done. And I'm going to go ahead and mount it on this back piece of Blackberry Bliss. So you see how pretty that looks with the contrast between the pink and the Blackberry Bliss there? Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so we're going to set this part aside and work on our other piece, the where we stamp the bunny and color him. And I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper to protect my surface there. And I am using one of these new radiating stitches dies that are online exclusives. So when I saw these, I just love them because it doesn't really cut out anything. It just gives you this little faux stitched edge, but they're different radiating stitches. See, this one goes out and then just pretty two little circles and a heart. Okay, so I use this second to the largest size. And if you were just going to cut a rectangle here, I'll have the measurements up and all the details for this is going to be on my blog tomorrow. But you would cut a, let's see, I wrote that down. Or I thought I did. I measured this. Let me measure this for you. And get this. So this measures 4 by 2 5/8. Okay, so that's what you would cut for this piece right here. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my bunny. All right, so it's this little, he's looking up and sideways. I'm going to use Memento Black because I'm going to actually color him with my Stampin' Blends, but we're going to do some other things too that I want to show you. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to come up about a 1/2 inch from the top of the stitches there in the center. Not in the center. I'm going to put a sentiment here. So just about a 1/2 inch in the center from side to side is what I meant to say. Okay. Oh, Susan, y'all are having a blizzard? My goodness, it's crazy weather. Okay, so now I want him to be sitting in grass, okay? So what I did is I made a mask for him. And Stampin' Up! Has masking paper, but if you don't have that, you could use a Post-it note. This is how our masking paper comes, and you just cut off what you need. And it has a protective paper on the back. It's not real sticky, but it's sticky enough to hold it in place. And I'm going to cover that bunny. So you see I stamped a bunny on the masking paper, and I'm going to put him over the bunny that I stamped on my rectangle. Okay. Now I'm going to move him down just a, oh, I'm tearing him. Okay, this is not working like I wanted it to, but it's okay. It was a little too sticky. Okay, and then I'm going to take my grass and I'm going to stamp it underneath him like he's sitting in it. Okay, so I'm going to go like that and then come over here. I don't want the grass on the stitches, so I'm putting a Post-it note there and going over here. And then I'm going to come this way, cover these stitches, and stamp like that. Okay, so now I have some grass like he's sitting in it. And then I'm going to pull up the masking paper, and this was the first time I had used this. I just got it in, so it was a little too sticky. It got stuck on the rabbit, but we're going to make it work, okay? So let me show you what I did here. Here's the Post-it note that I used, okay? And so it only stuck up there on the ears where the bunny is, so that works too. Oh, hey, Catherine. All right, so now I'm going to do some coloring. Oh, I want a butterfly on this too. I'm just so out of sorts today. Things aren't just going exactly like I want, but that's okay. It's part of stamping, part of creating. Okay, now I'm going to color the rabbit first, and I'm going to use light crumb cake. And I'm using the ball tip end because this is one of my old Stampin' Blends. And the other end is a little frayed from using it so much. I'm going to outline the whiskers, eyebrow. So has anybody used that masking paper before? It's new to me. I had not ordered any, and then I thought, oh, I'll show them how to use it, and then it just backfired on me. So I don't know. I probably needed to make it not as sticky. It is easier, Pam, but it pulled up some of my cardstock. So my thinking on the masking paper is to let me think about what I'm doing here. Is to touch the back of it and not make it quite as sticky, and then use it, okay? Because it was super sticky. It pulled up some of my bunny, but this is going to work. Okay, so now I am going to try to use part of this and color my insides. And I'm still using light. I didn't want the bunny to be dark brown. And leave a little white underneath his mouth. And come on down. So while I'm coloring this, I'll tell you I have left some little treat bags in Texas for Mia to use for her treats, Easter treats for her class. And I think I'm going to color some of these bunnies, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do instead of using the crumb cake on all those bunnies. Do something a little easier. Yes, Diane. I mean, it's new to me. I just got it. So, but would be definitely easier. But I think it was really sticky, and it could be because it's been in my craft room overnight, and I have a lot of humidity in here because there's no air conditioner or heater on, and it kind of messes with my stuff sometimes. So, all right. So now let me go ahead and do the ears before I forget. I have light polished pink. And I'm going to do that on his nose and in his ear. Okay. Okay. And then go ahead and take my daffodil and do the butterfly like I did on the inside of the card. Okay. I'm leaving the tail white. And so I'm going to use Parakeet Party. You could use Granny Apple Green if you don't have Parakeet Party for the grass. This is such a bright, fun green. And I'm going to hold on to my mask because I'm going to use it again. So when I was creating this card, I did it just the process just like this, except I used a Post-it note because I didn't have my masking paper yet. And I'm going to come down here and fill this in. This side's a lot darker. It looks like it's just, see how it lightens up when it dries? Okay, I'll finish what I'm saying. A squirrel moment there. I did it just like this, just this process. Stamped the bunny, did the grass, and then I thought, it's got too much white up there on the top for me. I'm going to just do this and fill that in, okay, for the grass. Now, I wanted a background up here at the top, okay? So I'm going to take my bunny mask again, if I can find it. What did I do with it? I might just have to use my Post-it. Did I accidentally throw it away? I might have. Okay, it's disappeared, so I'm going to use my Post-it mask. And I wanted a blue sky. So I've got my Pool Party ink. I've got my blending brush. And I'm going to just brush it over. Start off on your scratch paper so that you don't get a big blob of blue, and then blend in. Okay? And I really didn't worry so much about the butterfly. I just didn't want blue to get on my bunny. And it's just a hint of blue, but it makes a big difference. Let me move up. Off, and then come on. So you don't want that big blob of blue. Just kind of going around the butterfly a little bit. I can get close to my bunny because he's masked off. Okay, let's take that off and see how it looks. See? Okay, there's our bunny. So now I'm going to stamp my sentiment, which is Happy Easter. I've got that right here, and it fits just right there. Okay, so I'm going to use Memento Black. I'm going to test it first. Okay. And then stamp it right in the center here. I love this photopolymer to place my sentiments. Okay. All right, let's get him put on our slim tint card here. Okay, and I'm just going to put a little adhesive down the center. Just like that. And then to finish him off, I'm trying to center that. You see how I'm centering here where there's about 1/8 of an inch of the blackberry bliss showing on each side. Now, when you do these slim tint cards, you can also do it where the label extends beyond it. It looks good, okay, because it'll still fit in your envelope as long as it's not wider than 4 1/4 inches. It's going to fit in your envelope. So if you don't have these dies and you have something else that will work, it can extend beyond, okay? I'm going to put a little bow, this metallic polished pink. I have a glue dot behind the knot. I'm just going to put that right on his neck for the embellishment. And there's our card. Okay. You can't see. Let me do it like this. So you can see the inside there. So thank you, Pam. We had a little oopsies every now and then, but it worked, didn't it? Okay. I'm going to have to work some more with that masking paper and make sure, like I said, it could be the climate here in my studio. Sometimes things are a little wonky. Okay, I'm going to kind of clear and see, does anybody have any questions about anything or comments? Has anyone ever made one of those slim tint cards? I am going to move, not put my stuff too far out of the way because I may need it again. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, let's get our little Easter box basket in here that we're going to make. This will fit quite a few treats in there. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Diane. Okay, so here I have my pieces of my packet. Okay, so I've already done some scoring, but I'm going to show you on my scoring tool. Let's start with this big part first, okay? Let's put the box together. So I have a 6.5 by 7.25 piece of crushed curry cardstock. Thank you, Susan. And it's on the 6.5-inch side, and I'm just going to get my Simply Scored out so I can show you. On the 6.5-inch side, I scored at 1 1/4 and 5 1/4. Then I'm going to turn it where the 7 1/4 inch side is up at the top. Oh my goodness, Lisa. There we go. And then we score at 3 and 4 1/4. Okay, so that's what's going to make our box. Put this out of the way. Sorry about that. Just completely move the camera. Okay, adjustment time. There we go. This should be a bloopers video, huh? Okay, here we go. Let me straighten this up. All right, so now we're going to do some trimming, but we're going to burnish these score lines first. How many of you make Easter treat containers for Easter? I know I put a poll up on my Ink and Inspiration Stampers group, and I had about the same make cards and treats. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is cut up on these middle score lines right here on the side. And that's it. I'm not going to cut anything off. Okay. Then these are going to fold in like that, and you pull one side up. Okay. And then you pull this side over, and both of these pieces are going toward the back here. So I'm going to use some not sticky strip, Stampin' Seal Plus. And then right here, on this side. And that, see, just 2 little cuts, 2 adhesive strips there just to hold it together. And it's a sturdy box. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and put on my designer paper. Here are two more patterns of that flowers and more paper. See the flowers on the back and little stripes on the front. And these are 2 cut at 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then I'm going to flip it over to the back and do the same thing. It's really something how designer paper can make a plain box go to wow, huh? Really makes a difference. And I've loved all those different colors. Okay, yeah, Pam, I figured you did both. Yes. Okay, so now the handle. So I cut that, and then I had some scrap left over for after cutting this box. And so I cut a 1 by 6 inch strip out of that. And I'm going to use that from front to back for a handle. Now, to make that bend a little easier, you can take your bone folder and just run it across the cardstock like that. And that kind of bends the fibers in the cardstock, okay? Now, my little talk about this and how I'm going to adhere it. Because treat boxes many times go to little children, I don't like to use staples, but if you are doing this for adults, you can certainly staple it and it's quick, okay? You could use glue dots. I just like to use some kind of adhesive to hold it there so that they're not at risk of getting hurt, okay? So when I'm making these, I'm always thinking about who's going to receive this and what's the safest thing for them. So I'm just eyeballing it from the center, and you saw I just put a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus there, and that makes the handle super simple, okay? Now, I'm going to do my other embellishing, and for this one, I cut, there should be another leaf somewhere. I cut a punched with the Flowers and More punch, and it's run away again. Let me get it. It's probably in front of my nose. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. This one right here. Here it is. Lisa. This one, Flowers and Leaves. Okay. And so I have a Tahitian Tide, a polished pink, and then Parakeet Party for the leaves. All right. And I'm going to see, I lost one of my leaves, so I'm going to punch another one. So when you get your packet, if you place your order, be sure you look for the little pieces, okay? All right. There they are. I can throw these away. All right. So now, again, on these, you could put an embellishment in the middle, but I'm thinking, what if they go to like a 2-year-old? Okay. I've decided not to put the stones, but you could most certainly add rhinestones or pearls or anything you have to the center there. Okay. So I'm going to glue these down just right here, what I'm calling the front of my box or basket. And then I'm going to glue on the 2 little leaves. Okay. So let me take my liquid glue, and I'm going to put just a dot here. Come on, Lisa. And it comes up somewhat on the handle. Okay, so I'm putting it a little higher where it extends beyond the top of the box. And then take the Tahitian Tide, one of our current in colors that will carry over. Okay. And then let's put some leaves. Put a little bit of glue there and behind. And then a little behind this leaf. And I'm going to put that one right there. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside while I'm working on the rest of the embellishing for the box. So let's get this out of the way. And I have the little front-facing bunny right here. I'm getting all of my supplies out, so they're right here in front of my nose. And I'm going to stamp this. What I did is I die cut these, but you could use the punches. You know, we have the circle punches back on the online exclusives, but I used from the Layering Circles dies. I used these, okay? And I've got Tahitian Tide on the back. But first I'm going to stamp my bunny. And so you can see by just looking at the circle, the whole bunny doesn't fit on there, right? That's okay. All right. And if you hang on and stay with me till the end of the video, I'm going to show you some other projects I've made with this. where I just have a little peekaboo bunnies on a project. Okay, using Memento Black again, because I am going to use some of the Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to come as close as I can to the top without cutting off one of his ears. And I'm trying to center his little face and stamp. Okay, super cute. All right, so now I'm going to take, I have the dark polished pink, and I'm just going to do his ears. And his little nose. And then I'm taking my light Tahitian Tide, and I'm coloring his little eyes just to give him a little bit of color, because for the rest of him I wanted him to be a white bunny, but I didn't want to just leave it just like that. Okay, so I used my clear Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to make him a glittery bunny. So I had said earlier that I'm planning on making 20 bunnies for Mia's treat bags. And I think I'm going to use this bunny and color him like this. I actually think she can help me do this with the Wink of Stella. Y'all know, if you've watched my videos, you know Mia loves Wink of Stella, because I talk about that all the time. And see, it just gives them a sparkle, and it's easy. Okay? Isn't that cute? Look at him. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but he is sparkling. Lighting is so tricky, y'all. So tricky. Okay, let me go ahead and glue him onto the Tahitian Tide scalloped circle. Got some black on him. I'm going to have to fix that somehow. And then I kind of tuck him up underneath the flowers to glue him on. There we go. Okay, so now, see, I got a little ink on him there, but I'm not going to redo it. Show you what we're going to do here. In the package, in the packet, there's a scrap of Tahitian Tide and a scrap of basic white. And so what I'm going to do is take an Easter treat for you, and I'm going to stamp it in Tahitian Tide. Let me find it. I just had it. Here it is. I'm going to stamp it on here with the scrap white. I'm going to test it. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is fussy cut it out. And if you've watched my videos before, you've probably seen me do this. But to me, it's just a different way to use your sentiments, and especially like if you don't have a die cutting machine and maybe you just have punches, like circle punches for the bunny, you could use your snips just to make an interesting little sentiment piece. And so I'm putting adhesive on back and by putting it on the scrap. And I got a little bit too much glue, so I'm going to try to remedy that with a little tissue here. Okay, then I'm going to take my snips and kind of do a shadow around the edge of the sentiment. Now, we're going to pull this in. And look, I'm going to cover that little ink spot so conveniently. And if it would have been somewhere else, I would have adjusted where I put my sentiment and just cover that baby up. Okay. All right. There's our little treat box. And I'm going to get in the little card. And I want to show you some other projects that I've worked on with this. And you'll be seeing some of them on my blog, if I can find them. Well, here's one for sure. Look at this little Easter treat, triangle treat holder. Okay, so I did the same thing, but look, I cut the little egg. I stamped the egg and I cut the egg out. Thank you, Pam. You're so sweet. Okay, so while y'all are looking at that, or asking any questions. Oh my goodness, Lisa. And I probably left them in the house. So you're going to have to be looking for those other projects that I've made, okay? Because I've made 2 other cards really pretty for Easter. And one is even without the bunny and made a really pretty Easter card, okay? So, okay, I hope you enjoyed today, even with all of my little oopsies. And remember that if you place a minimum $35 order before shipping and tax by Monday, March 13th, you're going to get the class packets for these 2 kits, these 2 projects, and a Lucky Shamrock Charm that you can tie on your paper snips or on a bag or a zipper pull. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all again soon. Just pay it next week. I'm hoping to be live on Thursday. I'm going to have a house full of people. So excited to have family coming up. But I'm going to try to get my live in at 11 Central on Thursday, but I will post it. Okay. In the meantime, check my blog at inkinspirations.com for more ideas, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.